do you think of the big giant bomb where they finally, I believe it was the press that went and got those, talked the judge into releasing those the sealed documents that really show the basis of all the class action suits that are against Trump, the defunct Trump University, because you can't say Trump University anymore because the state of New York is saying it's not a university.
I'll give you credit, Frank. You were actually on top of this story for weeks. You've been talking about this for a long time, and I guess it's finally being exposed for what it was. And you weren't buying any of the excuses that were out there. So I'll give you credit for that one, Frank, because you, like I said, we've talked about this many.
I don't want credit for it. I'm just saying to you that you know a guy like him who's crying bloody murder and calling everybody crooked, lying crews, and saying so much shit that now he looks like a moron because they defrauded, they allegedly, you got to use that because in a democratic society you're innocent till proven guilty. But according to the court documents, and I've been reading, like some of the stories are scary. Most of these people were people who tried to better themselves and their family, and they put their life savings into this project. And when you would buy, let's say there's an A, B, C, D, E, F package, when you bought the A, the bottom of the one, they told you that was great, it would help, and so you paid 10 G's, and when you go to take the course, they're not fucking talking about the course, they're upselling you for the next thing.
No, I think, you know what, a lot of us have been involved in scams. I know I've been scammed before in the past, and I think anyone that's been involved in something like that can relate to what happened. Obviously, it's terrible. And
$40 million. $40 million.
Well, listen, a lot of us, like I said, have been involved in something where we've bought something and we've been told it's one thing and gotten something totally different. It's I've never been scammed. I mean, my company's been scammed because other people have made some decisions. Because sometimes people are so good, and the scumbags of the earth take advantage of the goodness in them. Listen, there's lots of predators out there, and this is a different type of it. But they'll take advantage of someone who doesn't have the wherewithal to really understand what they're getting, and people that...
Well, my suggestion is Donald Trump better make, if I was him right now, whether he's running for president or not, I'm talking about his freedom, I'm not talking about his livelihood, he better settle this or make some sort of recommendation, because if the Attorney General starts a criminal proceedings against him, it's not going to look good if he is criminally charged, if he is indicted for fraud.
No, that will pretty much be the end of him, right? So I think a lot of people were waiting for that bombshell, for that skeleton.
Eric, sweetheart, I don't think that this is the big one. I think that this is the first grenade.
Right. Well, you very well could be right. There could be a lot more coming. You're right.
And you can't fuck around with the establishment.
Frank, just think of that, though. You could be right, but why would he think of running for president if this
because guys like him, Billy, are not like guys like you. Guys like him are narcissists. They believe that they could get away with anything and everything, and that's what those people do. But they all get caught.
You're right. I knew someone growing up who forged a whole bunch of stocks. And he, for years and years, he was making millions on these stocks that he had forged, and he never felt in a million years he'd be caught. FBI got wind of it, ended up serving time, ruined his life. And, after talking to him after, he's like, you know what, I made so many mistakes, but once you make one, you just figure I'm just going to keep going and going, and you never think...
But he's the type of guy that he doesn't believe... Listen, when a man looks straight in the camera... and he says that he knows more about ISIS than any general in the military. You know that the elevator doesn't go all the way up.
Yeah.
Well, Frank, it requires an explanation. I mean, when you say something like that, you shouldn't...
You're wrong, Billy. You're wrong on this one. Bill, he says one thing, and it's recorded, and it's on all media. Then they ask him about it, and he said he never said it. He said that Japan and South Korea should have nuclear capability. Everybody, one of his guys probably said, "Are you crazy? When were you saying that? Don't say that." Then an hour later, they interview him. He goes, "I never said that."
Wow. Well, he doesn't speak well, so he could attribute it to George Stroumboulopoulos' language.
Good one. All I'm telling you is that he, the old adage, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. And I think it's going to start coming now in droves. He's going to be swarmed by his own shit.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, Frank. I think you do know, and you because you spent a lot of time getting up to speed on this. All I know is, we have a network. We want content, just like CNN's programming. 99% of it is this election. Yeah. Oh, I know. When I was down there, I mean, that's all it was. But
and people are enthralled, and I'm one of those people. I'm enthralled by all the shit, and I want to just move on just for a split second, and I'm going to go back to this because she's giving her first real presidential rebuttal on all the shit that Trump's been saying, because she's been very quiet, and now that this nuclear bomb has been opened up, where the court documents that were sealed, that he felt that he was going to, later, I'll deal with that later,
Up under the rug.
In the forefront. And I think that he's going to have a really tough time, and I think also the state attorney of New York is going to have a very tough time because you get elected in the United States. You're not appointed. You get elected. You run for, it's not like a crown. Here it's a job, somebody appoints you, right? In the United States, you run. And I don't think that the state attorney is going to be criticized for not investigating the criminality of the fraud that was perpetuated, the alleged fraud at Trump University.
You can't have him in power, and then all of a sudden this comes up. People are going to ask, why are we hearing about this now? This had to be dealt with before, right? So
Exactly. So I believe that this cut is going to get infected for him.
Right.
And the only way, like if I was running his campaign, or if I was an advisor, I'd say, listen, dude, you better deal with this now. Not talking about it. We're not going to play ostrich. You're not going to stick your head in the sand. You look at the camera and you say, listen, because this man is running for president of the United States of America. He's supposed to be a leader. He's supposed to take care of people. He's supposed to take care of Americans. He needs to look in the camera and say, listen, if we did something wrong that was not our intention, I'm going to show you how. I am going to pay back everybody who was not happy at the university, because that's the right thing to do. I'm rich. Oh, I'm rich. I'm so rich. I got so much money. I'm a billionaire. So what's $40 million? I'm going to give it back to those people because they're broke. There was their life savings, and that was not my intention.
But you know what? That would open up Pandora's box. All of a sudden, if anyone went and took a course or went to university and didn't feel like they got what they were feeling like they wanted to get out of it, they could go and use this as an example and go get their money back. So that'd be a bit of a problem going forward.
No, it wouldn't, because that's university. If you go to university and you go to York, and I said this before you came on, and you go to any the universities that qualify to be a university, they have university professors. They don't have a bartender. They don't have somebody who's
they're qualified.
And you're passing them off as inspectors, and you can get your fucking money back from any university that does that shit. Do you understand?
No, you're right. If the profs are not qualified, absolutely.
No, if the university has misrepresented a course that you have taken, right?
Yeah.
And you can prove it, you're going to get your money back.
Yeah, but Frank,
But if you're a dumb fuck and you go to university and you wasted your parents' money or your money, and all you did was party and do everything, then you can't go to court and say, listen, man, I went to the university, dude, and I didn't get my degree. I'm not a lawyer or a doctor, so I'd like to get my money back. You don't have a case, Eric.
Right. No, I didn't mean like that. I just meant to say that a lot of people will have issues with.
This is not a legal precedent. This is fraud.
Okay, no,
The allegation is fraud, that it was misrepresented, and that it was a scam.